So Minnesota Wild, they've got 4 guys playing the CHL playoffs right now. Starting with Hunter Height and the Saginaw Spirit, who will be hosting the Mem Cup. So even if they lose in the semis here of the OHL, it does not matter because they will still be able to play in the Mem Cup. And it looks like they are not going to be winning this series because London is up 3-1 after last night. And it's been an interesting playoff for Hunter Height so far. I mean, like they loaded up at the CHL trade deadline. So he's kind of been used as just like a utility guy, like all up and down their top 6, like center, wing, doesn't really matter. But he finally had his, he popped off in game 3, first star of the game, in a 6-2 win. He had 2 nasty goals for them. He also had a ridiculous assist for a 3-point night with 6 shots on net. And 4 PIMs because it got rather chippy. But that was the game where he was really showcasing just how fucking good he is. Like that, when he decides to shoot, like the puck just flies off his fucking stick. And like he's just so elusive, and the skill, the hands, like, and his ability to play at top speed, and the fact that his brain and his hands operate at the same speed, like he is just so fucking good. But last night, in their 7-3 loss, the last couple of goals were empty netters, but he came right back down to earth in game 4-5 with 3 shots on net. But London is just, they are unbelievable right now. Again, they're up 3-1 in that series. So Hunter Height through 15 games in the playoffs for Saginaw, 6 goals, 10 points, with 36 shots on net. Again, like, the fact that they're able to use him at center and wing, and he's still, like, regardless of whether or not he's the go-to guy, he's just been pretty reliable on, like, both sides of the puck as well. So that's always good. But, well, maybe not last night, -5. That's always tough. But either way, like that game 3, he was an animal. Like, he probably played like 25 minutes too. Like every time he jumped over the boards, he was making something happen, which is exactly what you want to see. So, we'll see if they can pull this off and rattle off 3 straight here because they are on the brink. And that's Hunter Height. Then we go over to the Oshawa Generals and Rasmus Kumpulainen, who, again, I still cannot believe wasn't seriously injured a couple weeks ago when he just got sent into the open door. It was he bounced back the next night, played and scored like he was just a fucking animal. So Oshawa is up 3-1 on North Bay right now in the OHL semis, and like Oshawa, I did not expect them to be as good as they've been, especially in the playoffs. Like they won the first 3 games of the semis. Like they didn't even really like load up big time at the deadline. But they're a team that can kind of play any way you want. And Kumpulainen also has just been a solid utility guy for them in the playoffs. Like the points don't necessarily jump off the page, but like he's also strung together a couple of real nice games. Another guy that can win you a bunch of faceoffs. He can also play wing. Defensively, he's a beast. And like I say this every time I talk about him, the fact that he is as good in transition as he is at his size and like lack of foot speed it defies science and defies logic. Like he's going 2 miles an hour and you cannot, like, he will get the clean entry every fucking time and somehow make you look stupid. Like his hands are absurd. He's so good. He's so fun to watch. But first 3 games, again, in the semis, he had points in all 3, looked really good. Last night, they finally did lose. So that series is at 3-1 right now. So 14 games in the playoffs so far, 8 points, +7 with 10 penalty minutes, 37 shots on net. But again, there's like another long-term, like, not necessarily project, because I think he's got a super high floor in the NHL. Like he will be a regular NHL player, but like every once in a while he'll make a play where like you see that upside, because he is ridiculously skilled and he knows how to use his size. Like he's listed at 6'2", 200. He looks like he's 6'4". Like he is just a beast. And then with Oshawa as well, Beckett Seneke, who is like his draft stock, especially in this playoff series, or this whole playoffs, is skyrocketing. He will be a for sure first round pick. Yeah, he's got 10 goals, 22 points in the 14 games, but like highlight real goals. And he's a big kid. He's fucking mean. He's physical. He can play both sides of the puck, but like the skill in this playoffs, some of the goals that he scored are like he scored a hat trick in one of those games. All 3 highlight reel goals, like dancing through the zone. Like he is very, very good. So I think he's going to be like I think he was already going to go probably around 20. Like he's going to be creeping up here after this playoffs. Like he's been a fucking beast, and he's got the size to go along with the skill and the mean aspect of his game. But he's just been so good for Oshawa. It's crazy. Like it feels like a lot of times he's making these ridiculously skilled plays, and he's like making it up as he goes, but it just fucking works. So like it's crazy. He's
that talented. Watch, so. That talented and has the frame to be able to execute.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, no, but he's been real good for them. Definitely their best playoff performer. So that does it for the OHL guys. Shooting over the WHL. What a turn of events for Riley Height and the Prince George Cougars. I think they lost 1 or 2 games before the semis here in the WHL. They are now on the ropes, 3-1 down to Portland in the semis. And like they won game 1, 5-0. And it looked like it was just going to be another one of those series where they just fucking roll.
Torch, yeah.
Portland was the other team. I think they may have been undefeated coming into like this series in the playoffs. They are rolling right now. I think it's Nate Danielson who's going off for them. But yeah, no, the Prince George, they win the first game 5-0. Since then, they lose game 2, 5-3, game 3, 4-1, and game 4 last night, 5-2. Riley Height, they are shown that they are able to stop him. He's only got points in 2 of those games. He's still having a ridiculous playoff. He's got 18 points in 13 games so far with 15 assists. He's just making plays left and right. But Portland's found a way to effectively kind of mute him and the rest of that team. So it's crazy turn of events just because, again, like they were, eviscerating teams those first 2 rounds.
They made
heavily on the ropes.
They made Kelowna look silly. Now I know Prince George's division, like they were the top of it, right? And then it was like Kelowna and everybody else were kind of hovering there, but still they made it look easy. And now, yeah, Portland's the real deal. That's crazy.
Oh, they are legit. And I feel like traveling to Prince George in the playoffs has to be incredibly difficult because they are
it's long.
Like
it's
5 hours from the closest team. Like it's a 5-hour bus ride to the closest team, which is fucking insane. Like they are in the middle of fucking. Like,
dude, Prince George
remotely close.
Yeah, well, Prince George to Vancouver is like a fucking 7-hour drive.
Yeah, no,
yeah, like it's up there.
Someone was talking about dude, the closest team, like the closest bus ride is 5 hours to like go.
And honestly, it's probably in Alberta. It's probably not even Prince George to Vancouver. It's probably Prince George to like one of the teams in Alberta.
Yeah, and
that's
but
crazy.
and it's like it's weird. Like in the regular season, even when they're nasty, like that Prince George barn's okay. Like it's a big fucking
CN Center. It was like it's older now,
big.
But
it
was
not.
Yeah, it's decent. It's
just in terms of like the turnout, like the fan turnout. It is it's such a big arena for like a WHL team.
Yeah, I think it's like 7,000 seater or something. Like it's pretty.
Yeah, so it's not like full in the regular season, but that place in the playoffs has been a fucking madhouse. So
yeah,
but it's gonna be interesting to see if they can. If there's one team that like I could absolutely see rattling off 3 in a row and going off, it would be Prince George. But the other thing is they're playing Portland, who has been.
Wow,
they are scary right now. And then last guy here, Kalem Parker, Moose Jaw, they're doing their thing. I think that series actually, I guess, is 2-2 now, but he's been real good this round. Probably playing upwards of 25 minutes a night, a lot of times in the same pair as like Matejchuk, even though they don't necessarily start the game off together. The first couple rounds, he was hit or miss. This round, he's been real good for them. Like playing good shutdown D while also contributing offensively. In the 4 games in this series, he's got 3 of his points. Goal, 2 assists, 9 shots on net. He's +1, so now he's got 7 points through 13 games. And again, like this series in particular, he's been really good for them. And like he absolutely allows some of those other defensemen, whoever he's playing with, he's usually with whoever's like just going offensively. So his responsibility and like also just his ability to cover ground because he is such a good skater. So like, you know, if Matejchuk feels like going on a road trip, like he could absolutely cover for him, and he's had to do that a few times against Saskatoon here. So I think 3 of the 4 games so far have been OT. But Moose Jaw is a really, really fun team to watch. They are like Braden Yeager. Oh, he's fun. And they made some real nice deadline additions, but they're a very fun team to watch. And that series has been really, really good. But Kalem Parker definitely turning it on. I mean, even one of the games he didn't score, I think it was +4 with a couple shots on net. But he is a fun player to watch. He's, again, I said this before, he's a long-term. That's another guy that's like a long-term prospect to like keep track of, because like he's got decent size, he moves incredibly well, he's solid defensively, he can play physical, and offensively he's awesome. So, but he looked really good.
Yeah, he looked so good when he was in his like first and second year with the Royals, and the Royals were so bad that year.
They were
like,
so bad.
Like they're still not great, but like he was a shining star, and yeah, it's cool to see him actually have like go on a playoff run now.
Yeah. And I think that'll do it for the mini prospects.